Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize. I still got the eye twitch going on and you will be able to see it because I saw it in my last video when I was editing. But we are here today in Sesame Street t-shirt and all, because who doesn't love Elmo? I love this t-shirt so much. To do my top 5 favorite blushes. I have done this twice already, so this will be the 3rd installment of my favorite blushes. And I will go back and tell you what my last installment was as far as when I posted it and what my favorite blushes were. So I posted this on November 20th, 2017. Is that right? It's been almost 2 years. Wow. Okay, so my favorite blushes were NARS Madly, Chanel Elegance, Sephora Winter Flush Blush Palette, Becca Camellia, and Tom Ford Inhibition. Still love all of those, still have all of those, but only one of them made it to this installment of Top 5 Blushes. Now, obviously, it's been 2 years since then. I've accumulated more blushes. I have maybe changed my taste a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. We will see what it turns out to be as my favorite blushes. Now, because I almost never make it actually 5 products, I have 6 powder blushes, and I do have 1 honorable mention for cream blush because I do love cream blush, especially in the fall and winter, so I did want to touch on that. So let's go ahead and get started in no particular order, but I am going to save my favorite for last. I'll go ahead and start with my favorite rosy tone blushes or cool tone blushes. Now, I will say that all the ones I'm going to talk about, I like other blushes within the same line, but these are the ones that when I opened my blush drawer, I thought it was going to be a lot harder. I opened it and I was like, yep, this. Those are my favorites, no questions asked. These are the ones out of all of them that I reach for the most. And I am almost embarrassed to tell you that I just counted my blushes. And including palettes, but not counting the individual blushes within those palettes, I have like 65. So I really have like probably 80, 85 actual single blush colors. So that's a lot. I get it. It's a lot. But hopefully that tells you how much I love these that I automatically pick them out of the crowd, so to speak. All right, so the rosy tone blushes, the first one I'm going to talk about is from Charlotte Tilbury. And I do enjoy her other colors, but I really don't ever reach for them. I feel like I've sold a couple in blog sales. Like, they're not my most favorite, but this one is. This is the Cheek to Chic in Pillow Talk. It's the newest one I think she's come out with in this Cheek to Chic formula. The whole point of these blushes is to swish your brush into the outer portion and then use this middle portion to kind of like put a pop of color on the cheeks. I don't find that that works as well with this because then you're putting this basically highlight color right on your cheek, like right on the apple of your cheek, and I just don't think that looks right. So I take my brush and swish it into all of it and use it, but oh, I love this so much. Because I do that, I'm going to swatch it, swishing it all together as well. It's a very subtle sheen, but the sheen is there. But it's just a gorgeous, rosy, pinky color. I really, really like that. I don't feel like it's too pigmented to where you have to really have a light hand with it and you are afraid you might mess it up or put too much. I don't feel like that at all. I reach for this a lot when I have more cooler tone looks. And then this one is from Jane Iredale. I really do love all of her blushes. Some of them are a little too sparkly for me. If they say they have like a shimmer finish, sometimes they're a little much. They can almost leave kind of chunks of glitter. But this one is a matte blush, and it is the color Mocha. It's her pure pressed blush. I'll be putting how many grams of product as well as how much it costs down below, as you've already seen. But this is similar. Well, no, it's not. No, it's not at all. You will see it's much rosier and it is matte. So that's Mocha right here. This also makes a really pretty eyeshadow as well. But I feel like this, even though I reach for it the most when I use cool tone looks, is really neutral enough to where even if I have a warmer look on, like golds or something, it still looks good. And I like to travel with these and the next one that I'm going to talk about because they are so small. So those are my two favorite for like rosy toned, cool tone looks. Now the next are going to be more for like neutral blushes, warmer toned blushes. And this one is from Glow Skin Beauty. I will say there's not a blush that I've tried from Glow Skin Beauty that I have not liked. But this one is, this one is a given. This is called Soleil. So you can see how small this is and why I like to travel with these two, because they're just so compact. Obviously, they have less product than the other ones too, but if you really think about it, like how often do you go through a blush? So I don't mind them being smaller. But again, this is in the color Soleil. This is one of the more neutral toned blushes, meaning it will go with pretty much everything, but I feel it does have a little bit more of a peachy undertone to it. And this does have a little bit of a sheen as well, which I'm hoping you'll be able to see. So that top one is Soleil. Again, it's very hard to overdo this, but it just gives the perfect amount of gorgeous sheen on your cheeks and goes with almost anything. Love, love, love Soleil. The next one is, I hope you can still get it. When I filmed this video, you can, but I mean, that could change overnight. But this is a limited edition color from Chanel, and it's called Tweed Beige. And I love me some Tweed Beige. I really and truly love me some Chanel blushes. I mean, Elegance was in my last favorite, and I do still love Elegance. I have, what is it? I think Golden Sun, and I love Golden Sun. I want the rosy one. That's on my list. But this one is a little bit different because normally Chanel blushes come in a circle form, and this is in a rectangle. It did have a kind of gold overlay to it, which I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's still down, a little bit of it is still down here in the bottom of the pan, but that will come off as you use it. This is just so pretty. This does lean more peach. It has about the same sheen to it as the Glow Skin Beauty. It's actually pretty similar. It does have a little bit more peach gold to it, but it's on the very top right here. So that's Tweed Beige. Again, really pretty. It's really pretty for fall, but it's also great for summer because it has that touch of luminosity to it. But I find myself reaching for this so much. I cannot recommend it enough. I know it's Chanel. I know it's luxury. I know it's expensive, but so is the one I'm about to talk about next. And, you know, I feel like sometimes you can't put a price on quality, and this quality matches the price, in my opinion. In fact, for Chanel, I feel like it's like $45, which for Chanel I don't find is that extreme. Love that color so much. This next blush is a little extreme in price, I will admit. This one made my top spot in my last top 5 blushes, and it has not gotten off of that list. This is from Tom Ford, and it is in the color Inhibition. I only have one other Tom Ford blush, and it's Frantic Pink. I actually really do like that one. I still reach for this one more. I also want Love Lust. So if you have Love Lust, let me know what you think about it, because that's the next one that kind of speaks to me. I feel like I probably had that color 8 times over, but that's okay. This is one of those blushes that never, ever, ever fails. It goes with every look. It doesn't have too much shimmer in it. In fact, it doesn't have any shimmer. It's a matte blush. If I have a look and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to wear with this, this is what I pick. It's right down here. And if you'll notice, it's obviously a theme. Like, I have a specific look I like in a blush because my hand looks very similar right now. But the formulation of this is so nice. You need such a small amount of product. It blends out beautifully. It looks natural. It never looks like powder on the skin. It is, honestly, I can't recommend this enough. There is very, very few blushes that I like more than this. So good. And to me, it's worth the money. I am not a huge, I like all kinds of makeup, and I do love me some luxury. There's some things that I won't buy because of the fragrance, but when it comes to powder products like that, I will spend a little bit more money because they work so well. All right, let me hit on my cream blush honorable mention before I get into my favorite. And this is from Kjaer Weis. This is the color Reverence. Kjaer Weis is more of like an organic brand. It comes in really nice, very heavy packaging. I love this packaging because it does have a little hole in the back so that you can refill it. And Kjaer Weis obviously sells refills for a much less price point or lesser price point than if you were to buy the full compact again. So not only is it cutting down on waste, but you're not spending as much money. This is the color Reverence. So this is a pinky blush, more suited to cool tone looks. I got a sample of this, I think from Citrine, to try it out, and I loved it so much I immediately bought the full size. Creams are gonna have more pigment to them overall than a powder, but this is it right here. This is probably the most cool toned out of all the ones that I've talked about, because if you really look at it, it has a little bit of a purple mauve hint to it. But this is so gorgeous on the cheeks. It really does have, I mean, it's a cream blush, doesn't have any added shimmer or highlight to it, but because it's cream, it adds that really pretty luminosity to the skin. And I'll just take like a foundation brush or something, kind of dip it in here a few times and just press it onto my cheeks. It basically blends itself. It doesn't take a ton of work at all, and I really just love that pinky color. I feel like it just gives the prettiest flush to the cheeks, and it's almost youthful. I feel like the cooler and rosier tones almost lend a little bit more towards youthfulness than any other tone. Okay, I'm going to wipe these swatches off because I'm about to swatch 6 more blushes out of my top favorite blushes. I know that if you have watched any of my videos, you know what I'm going to talk about. My favorite blush formula and some colors of all time is the Beautycounter blushes. I currently have them in smaller palettes because I keep these in my kit. That's how much I love them. That's how much I trust them. That's how long they wear. They are the longest blushes or longest wearing blushes that I have. Blush is one of the first things that kind of disappears from your face throughout the day. I find that these do not disappear from my face throughout the day. It's what I have on my cheeks right now. These are just so good. These launched, I feel like, maybe a little over a year ago. So these are 6 colors. There is one more color which I have in a separate pan down in the bottom of my kit that I didn't reach out for. It's called Raspberry. It's a very dark, pigmented pinky color that's really wonderfully suited for darker skin tones. But these are the ones that are in my palette and were easiest for me to reach for. So let me go ahead and swatch them very quickly. I know that, again, if you have watched me at all, you have seen these, but I want to make sure everybody gets to see the beautifulness that is Beautycounter blushes. Okay, so this is this palette right here that I've swatched for you. So right here we have Guava, which is a really pretty, very cool toned pink color. And then in the middle we have Melon, which is kind of, I mean, it is pink, but it does have a little bit of peach in it. I use Melon a lot on my fair tone girls, my brides and my bridesmaids. It just looks so pretty. And then down here is Nectar. Nectar is my favorite one that has a shimmer in it. It's very similar to like the Soleil from Glow Skin Beauty. A little bit peachier and brighter. But these are those 3 colors. Love them so much. These are the ones that are going to be best for like lighter skin tones, light to medium. But I have worn Nectar and Melon. I've worn these 2 like when I'm at my very tan in the middle of summer, and they still look great. And then this palette contains the one that I am wearing today. Obviously, these are finger swatches. It is not going to be this crazy on your cheeks, which you will be able to see when I show you the one that I'm wearing today. But I want you to get a good idea of these colors. So this is from that palette. This right here is Passion Fruit. This one is Sorbet, which is what I have on my face today. Love Sorbet. And then this one is Date. Love Date so much, especially in the summer because it gives that really bronzy look. But honestly, it's like, it screams fall too. These are the 3 from that palette. Now, if I had to pick my favorite of the 7, my top 3 are Date, Sorbet, and Nectar. But it's hard to pick because I love all of them. But I had to swatch all of those for you because, again, they are very pigmented, but they blend out nicely. They last forever, and they truly have impressed me from the very get-go. If you know my kit, I do not put anything in my kit that I absolutely do not stand behind 150% because my name is behind my faces and my work. And if I do not give the best product with the best technique, then I'm not putting the best effort forth. And that, I mean, I never, ever, ever question those blushes. They work for me every single time. So that is my top 5 favorite blushes. I really thought, hey, I'm only going to be talking about like 6 or 7 blushes. I can't possibly talk for 20 minutes. Yes, I can. Never say never. Hopefully I can edit some of that down. But as always, for my top 5 series, I want to know what your favorite blush is of all time, both brand and color, because even though I have an exorbitant amount, doesn't mean I'm ever going to stop looking at new blushes. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope y'all all go out and have a very blessed day.